Yo, it's Sway.
Sway.
Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
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 Only on Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Yeah. Bitches.
I mean, all kind of dudes performed with us, but you have yet to hear the homie Skyzoo perform with us, ladies and gentlemen. Duck Down's finest.
Yeah.
Duck Down's finest. And he's here. He's here. Now, just for in all fairness, you've been putting in a lot of work for a few years now.
Right.
And you've been creating a great reputation for yourself as being a lyricist.
Appreciate it.
Lyrics will never be the same.
Absolutely.
All right?
Absolutely.
All right. So it's one of our slogans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm following.
But you still have yet to reach that pinnacle of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in certain circles, people, they know and respect you.
Right.
But do you have the J. Cole type exposure yet?
I feel like it's coming. You know, I feel like it's a day away, if not shorter. You know, I think what I do, you know, it's what's being done now, but I do it my way. In the sense of when you turn on the radio, whether it's mainstream radio or whatever else it may be, lyricism is there, and if it's not there, it's coming back. You know, when you have artists like a Cole, like you mentioned, or you know, like a Drake or a Wayne who spit, who are lyrical, but they're on the radio all day, then that means lyricism's com's coming back.
It's coming back, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm listening to artists like Kendrick Lamar, who
Right.
seems to be breaking through.
Right.
Big Sean is doing really well right now.
Right.
I think it's a paradigm that's happening. I say this a lot, and that's because I'm trying to implant it in people's minds. You know, the rap game moves in cycles, and
Absolutely.
so does the caliber, and the bar raises, and sometimes it takes dips. And I agree with you, Skyzoo, that like lyricism is coming back, and you still got to make hit records too.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely, yeah. It's the nature of the game. At the end of the day, it's still a business. You know what I mean? And music is, especially in hip-hop, you know, I feel like hip-hop is one of the few genres that has subgenres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all different types of hip-hop, different sectors and things like that, and you got to be able to get in where you fit in, but still, you know, make sense to everyone who's listening. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean?
That's
So
good. It's a smart kid right there. You know this, right?
I went to school, you know.
Where'd you go to school?
Well, I went to college in New York, but I didn't finish. I went to Farmingdale State out in Long Island up here in New York, but I didn't get to finish though. But I went to school in the sense of like I grew up in Brooklyn, but my parents never let me go to school in Brooklyn. I always went to school in Manhattan. So it's kind of a little jokey slogan I say where people say something like, "Oh man, you don't say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?" I go, "Yeah, I went to school."
Yeah, you're articulate. He's educated.
Appreciate
He
it.
got a expanded vocabulary.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like the Barclays Center? You know, even though it's a Brooklyn thing, this is all over the news. It's a national story. Jay-Z goes from Marcy Projects to becoming a minority owner in this New York Nets team and opening the Barclays Center. But a lot of people were protesting outside of the Barclays Center. What was that about? Were you familiar with that?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, off top, I mean, I may be the biggest Jay-Z fan, you know, in the world, possibly. So just to see him do that, just for the pro side, just to see him do that was amazing. To see him be a part of that, no matter how, you know, big or small his contribution is or what he owns, is something that, you know, I don't think too many people will ever be able to say they did the same, you know, and he's in that upper echelon. If you never thought so before, you have to think so now. And I live 20-minute walk away from it. I could be there in 10 minutes driving. I'm a 20-minute walk away from the Barclays, so I pass it every day. And it's amazing just to see what was done, you know, because I know that area. I grew up there. I know what it's like and what it was like and what they're trying to turn it into. But on the flip side, I get the protests. I mean, what it's doing to my hood in particular and everywhere around it, it's kicking us out. And when I say us, it's people that look like you and I, you know what I mean? Because what happens is when all that comes in, rents raise. You know, the stores, the mom and pops that were built in the community by you and I are now gone. You know, you seeing corner bodegas turn into organic markets. You seeing, you know, barbershops turn into bike stores. You know what I mean? You're seeing, like, for real, like, you know what I mean? You're seeing, you know, people that look like me get pushed out because the rent is raised, and you see people that don't look like us pushing McLaren strollers and bringing minivans with their 2.5 kids, 1.5 dog. You know what I mean? Like,
That's that gentrification, right?
Exactly.
They're trying to move the savages out.
Right,
to let the civilized in.
Right, and I feel like if you're gonna upgrade the community and you're gonna change the hood, I'm with that. But let the people who had to endure all that get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
If we had to sit there for 20, 30, 40 years and deal with all that when nobody wanted to step foot in Brooklyn, then let us enjoy it when everybody wants to come to Brooklyn.
What is JanSport?
JanSport book bags.
Oh, the book bags.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Backpack.
And the strings, you know, back in the day, like in the 90s when I was coming up, when we was kids, all the JanSports used to come with these strings on the zippers, and they was colorful. And for some reason, they meant the world to us. So, like, if you was in school, your bag would be on the back of your chair. Somebody sitting behind you might get you for your strings, like, while you wasn't looking. And whoever had the most strings on their zipper was winning. You know what I mean? It was like the equivalent of having, like, crazy sneakers.
Man.
So you would take somebody's strings, put them on your zipper, and tie them, and then you'll burn the tip so they couldn't untie it.
Wow, broke niggas come up with some creative ways.
It meant the world to us when we was, you know, 6th, 7th grade. It meant the world to us. So it just ties back to that, to when I started rhyming, you know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. Skyzoo, you're a really interesting guy. He's from Brooklyn. Yo, the other thing y'all did in Brooklyn was y'all used to, what did y'all used to do with the razor blades?
Oh, man.
What was that about?
Being able to just tuck it away and go to work if you needed to. I mean, it still happens, but, you know, Brooklyn is a little different now. You know, you still have your areas where, don't get it twisted, it's still, you know, it still goes. If you're talking East New York and Brownsville. And,
but what y'all used to
that.
do? Like, you know, I didn't do that in Oakland. I mean, how would they put the razor blade? Did you ever do that?
Nah, I was young, man. So,
okay.
you know, the older dudes above me did,
Okay.
so we used to see it. But, you know, I know the history of it, but it was just something they did to, you know.
They put razor blades
themselves
under their tongue and like a weapon, and then without
it out.
cutting, spit it out, right?
Yeah.
And then when you spit it, do you spit it in some? Anybody ever do that? Call us,
Used to spit it in your
888-742.
hand and then just go.
And just go,
You know what I mean?
888-742-3345. Spit in your hand and just start.
Right.
And nobody could ever tell because it was hidden and nobody knew you had anything on you. You know, it's like it was your weapon was hidden inside your mouth.
Okay, so these are things that are true to Brooklyn. Okay, so JanSport strings, that was something that was very Brooklyn. I'm sure other people did it, but razor blades under the tongue. What else was like a Brooklyn thing that y'all did growing up?
Oh, man, a Brooklyn thing that we did growing up. Definitely, I mean, Jordans and, you know, just being a sneakerhead. But I think that was everywhere. We was big on,
y'all can't claim everything, man.
No.
We rock Jordans, too.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what was big for us, though, man? You know, Jabos and Columbia jackets and all that, you know, was big for us for a while, you know. That and you know, just certain landmarks in Brooklyn, you know, Kings Plaza and Alba Square Mall and you know, all those things that, you know, you would see everybody be at. When I was young coming up, and the guys I looked to who was the cool guys doing whatever they was doing, you know, that's where they were. You know what I mean?
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.